gonna keep a state on the oh shit. That doesn't bode well at all. Just keep an eye on the spinny reticle and the epsilon conyard. That'll tell you the state of the lag. Oh no. I don't think tunnel scrounging is going to help much when Omeganuke is playing. Like Master in China. The tunnels are the true winners of this tournament. Too bloody right, Sovereign. Too bloody right. The state is best described as horrid. No. Alright, let's get the team introductions underway. Playing as the Sky Psi Corps, we have the Lagmaster himself, Omeganuke. His teammate as the Blue Latin Confederation. We have Tyhednus, together forming the very potent and effective and efficient in the state of the game, the Lag Factory. Their opponents playing as the Crimson Latin Confederation itself, we have Otto. Their teammate, Last Longwad, otherwise known as Akimariniko on the Discord, we have playing as the Orange Psi Corps. The two of them forming Team RSNDM. Whether or not that's an acronym for something, I don't know. Probably is, but what its meaning is currently undivined up to us. So there we go. I honestly have no idea about the state of how these two players play. We have both. I think most of us are somewhat familiar with Omeganuke and Tyhednus. Tyhednus himself being a competent player. Omeganuke's okay. You have to give him some direction here, as I think Tyhed may end up being tunnel visioned, and Omeganuke may lack some direction. So whether or not this goes south for the Lag Factory will yet to be seen. It has been hypothesized that this will be the first 2-0, but I should really hope that not to be the case, although considering for the players in the current state of the game, they might want it to be a 2-0 just to get the lag over and done with. So, could be rough, could be even, we are yet to find out. Seeing some relatively unusual conservative play here from RSNDM. Most people would normally expect a large initial conscript ball to be seen around on the field, but they're very much mirroring what Omeganuke and Tyhednus themselves are usually playing by. Tyhed going for a standard refinery after War Factory there, and I believe Omeganuke is about to start on the same for himself. When the lag wears off, I imagine we will see that refinery queue. Seeing a couple of dogs eat a couple of conscripts in the Crimson base there. However, Terror Drone out on the field. I'm not sure what it's going to try and accomplish here. Maybe to act as an anti-scout force, I don't know. Or is it just going to try and infect a War Miner, which is incredibly unlikely considering the fact that War Miners quite handily defend themselves against Terror Drones without much difficulty. Omeganuke himself being a bit behind on the structure buildings here, as Tyhed already has his second refinery down. However, Otto likewise being ever so slightly behind. We're seeing a second War Factory off the bat here from Zwangod. What we're likely going to see here is after this refinery, either a third refinery or a straight Pandora hub. We're probably going to start looking at lots of marauders here, but considering the long distance nature of all the mining here, Last Longboard's economy is suffering a little bit. However, the same can be said for Omeganuke as he gets a third Ghost Miner out on the field. A radar dish on the way for Tyhednus, and his opponent is going for a second War Factory in Leo of this. It looks like the Westerners are going to start going for the tech game beforehand, so the Chinese are actually going to go for the multi-factory plays here. Whether or not Which one works out will remain to be seen. However, now a Confed mirror match against and a Psi Corps mirror match. Actually, I think in the Psi Corps mirror match, the production for Marauders may actually come in more handy, but Omeganuke isn't even doing that. We're going to see straight MCV push towards the central ore field here, which is an interesting call. Although Omeganuke's economy obviously being in the gutter itself, it may come in to be useful, but I just think he just needs more miners. And obviously, refineries closer to the ore rather than taking this expansion too early. It could pay off, but it depends on how Zwangod over here actually plays this. Second War Factory still not out for Otto yet. Tyhed having amassed a considerable tank force of 4 Jaguar tanks, whereas Omeganuke keeping expenditure light as he simply can't afford it. We're seeing a couple of stingers come out here for the orange Psi Corps player. No, a couple of engineers as well. We're probably going to see a... Are we going to see a third stinger? I was right, by the way. We're going to see straight Pandora hub here. See a third stinger as well. This Gatling tank is going to come out on the way to do some minor harassment. So Omeganuke's going to have to be careful with that, though, especially with the lag of his own creation. He force fires to ground, likely in an effort to try and get some barrel spin on the initiates, but they are able to walk forward and they do return fire. Starting to see mortar quads coming out here for Otto here. Expensive choice, especially considering the state of his economy. Seeing the original refinery get sold off for Zwangod here. Still no Pandora hub yet. Omeganuke working on his own Pandora hub as well. Betting on that expenditure cut in the MCV move. There's his Pandora hub down. He's actually got the Pandora hub before the before Zwangod here, although of course Omeganuke is running on one factory. We're seeing the Jaguars move out here, and we do have a bomb buggy. Tyhed going to try and go for the old bait and switch. He gets the Tesla reactor, which isn't as valuable, but he almost claimed the war factory here. Otto now cottoning on to the bait and switch here from Tyhed. Is there a second bomb buggy to follow up? There is not, which is a little bit sad here, but Tyhed going to go for the hit and run here. Going to find himself contained by the Psi Corps play. We've got a Lasher responding. Mortar quad itself. We've already lost a Jaguar tank, I believe. Alas, no half tracks filled with engineers at this stage, otherwise this would be very juicy. Tyhed going to try and go for the Pandora hub, but he's not going to get it. There's simply too much tanks protecting the area. Omeganuke moves in to try and take advantage of the situation here with his Gatling tank archers and initiates. He's pulling everything. He's got his own Marauders out on the scene here. Jaguar gets mind control. Seeing third War Factory come down here for Otto, the strong tier 1 players, whilst Tyhed's going to go straight for tier 3. And Omeganuke backs off, knowing he can't really take this engagement here. He's now going to start relying on his own Marauder support. We're seeing the second Frontier Factory down there for Omeganuke. Beacon detected. Tyhed pointing out that he may be in a slight spot of bother here whilst he awaits his tier 3. He is running extremely low on cash. He only has 1, 2, 3... Tyhed only running on 6 miners, and they're all not exactly short distance mining here. This refinery here in particular, quite far from the ore field over there. And Tyhed's starting to panic a slight amount. Omeganuke sending his Marauders over as the response force here. We're missing a Marauder here. Did that die to the Jaguar? Tyhed really struggling to afford his tier 3 here, as his economy just can't support all of the production going on at once. He's trying to build mortar quads, he's trying to build Jaguars, he's trying to build tier 3. Whilst his strategy should absolutely stall for time, it's a question of how much time can Tyhed stall for here, as he may simply drown under tier 1 before he can even get to tier 3. And it looks like Omeganuke's going to start suffering the same predicament as well. He's going to start drowning in hostile units. That's a Frontier power plant there. Very spicy play from Omeganuke, working on his radar spire. They may just get drowned out. Tier 3 finally down for Tyhed here, but we're not going to see Morales out, at least on the instant. That was mortar quads. We're still seeing mortar quads here. No Morales, and we're still seeing Jaguars here. Fair play. He can't really afford catastrophes, but I do think, yep, there we go. There is the Morales in the queue. Omeganuke trying to be wary over here. He's got a sizable epsilon force here, threatening his technology, his refinery. He pulls the miners away because, of course, the stingers do serve as detection. It looks like they were hunting miners. And now it looks like Omeganuke is in himself finding a rather significant spot of bother here. The Confed task force is too big for Tyhed to take on, but he's going to try and delay them. But we may see Omeganuke's Frontier War Factory simply fall without a fight here. As Omeganuke is stuck caught behind between a rock and a very hard place here. He's got to keep this force under containment, but he's also got to try and keep this expansion intact. He's also going for the Psych Plug here. Still no Morales out for Tyhednus here. This War Factory still not exactly being in the hottest position here. We're seeing the Tier 3, the Marauder force from the top, Topazjuan God here, come in and collapse on the top here. And it completely decimated Omeganuke's infantry force that was standing guard. And I think at this stage, whilst Otto's going to rendezvous, his sword force isn't exactly that sizable. It's mainly the initiate force here that's the main threat. And Omeganuke still has his War Factory in the expansion, but he lost the one in his base. He's going to lose the refinery as well, which at this stage is honestly a good call because Omeganuke's economy is already... Okay, Omeganuke is straight up called GG already. A little unfortunate, but I can definitely see why he called it. Both players here tried to hard tech rush here, but they just flat out did not have the economy to support it. Tyhed long distance mining far too much, and with his second refinery placed on the small ore field, and then Omeganuke going for an early expansion that he didn't even really build the refinery at in the first place.